Hey guys, it's chair yoga time. Now don't touch that dial because before you say, oh, chair yoga is not for me, give it a try. If you're having, maybe you're just sitting around, you want to do some work at your desk, maybe you're doing some desk work, do some of these things, you'll learn some moves that you can do at your desk. Okay, so it doesn't only have to be for someone who has to sit in a chair. It's for everybody, depending on how you feel that day. So you can wear shoes if you want to. I have my shoes off. I'm not going to be on the floor at all, kneeling on the floor. So this is good for someone with knee issues. I would like you to have a block or something that looks like this size, some kind of a book, a package. I'm sure you can find something. So run and get that. Your chair also should be on something that's not going to move. It's not going to slide at all, because that's just the worst. Okay, so I have mine on a yoga mat, but I would not put it, I was using it in the dining room before and it was just like slipping out. So yeah, so a nice surface where it's not gonna slip. All right guys, deep breath in and slow breath out. So let's just come into our breathing pattern, just your regular breathing pattern, in through your nose, out through your nose. You close your eyes. This is your time to just gather yourself into this space. Just slowly breathing in, slowly breathing out. As you breathe in, expand the abdominals, the rib cage, maybe up into the lungs a little bit. Now, if you are short of breath, if you start coughing, don't worry about taking that deep breath into the lungs. Just worry about separating the rib cage, getting it into the ribs. I should do it. Deep inhale and exhale. If you do have your shoes off, try wiggling your toes. Separate your toes, lift and separate like fingers. I was going to do it with just socks on. I have my toe socks on. So my yoga toe socks, they have a grip on the bottom and my toes are out. Kind of like that. So it cools me down a little bit. So your toes are supposed to be like fingers. They should be able to separate like this. When they're in shoes and socks, that's super hard, especially even if you just have socks on. Try separating your toes with socks on, unless they're the loose variety, and it's just very hard to do. So you want to be able to do that. So try taking your shoes off. Instead of sitting way back against the back of the chair, try coming towards the front of the chair and then scooting your hips, maybe leaning forward a little bit, scooting your hips back a tiny bit, and then making your way upright. So you should have a slight curve in your lumbar spine. That's a natural curve. It should be there. It allows you to stay up tall. Your ears above the shoulders, shoulders above the hips. Deep breath. Let's begin by taking small circles with your chin. Okay, so instead of taking a big circle with your head, think about circling your chin around, maybe a circle 1 inch in diameter, and keeping the movement really slow. So if you're starting to feel like you're crackling in your neck, how about make the circles a little slower and a little smaller? You can still feel it. Let's switch directions. When you're bringing your chin to the left, you'll feel it more on the right side of your neck, and vice versa. That's it. Come on back up. Just breathe. Let's turn your head slowly to the side. Doesn't matter what side. Come back to the center. Slowly switch sides. Come back to the center. Switch again. Just notice if there's any pain or stiffness in your neck. If there is, I suggest doing some of the ball routines that are posted on our site that I just posted in our Facebook group. called Stay Strong Together. One more time. And they're really going to help you. Even if it's just a tennis ball, that'll work. Come on back to the center. Let's scoot towards the edge of the chair. Take the legs wider and just let your knees fall to the side. Come back to the center and switch. So I have my hands behind me on the chair, kind of pushing down on my hands so I can stay upright. Otherwise, I'd be like falling backwards. This is not easy, is it? Those of you who have hip mobility issues might find it a little harder. I think I do. Deep breath. So you're kind of going over, you can feel the massage on the glutes, okay? So you can feel that. Now let's come back to the center. And this time, let's just take it very precisely, not moving on the hips at all. Bring the knee in, come back up, try the other side. Come back up. Now, if you notice on my hips, this hip is more mobile than this hip. This is my left hip, not as mobile. I don't know why. Come back to the center. I would have thought it would be the other way around, to tell you the truth. Actually, no, it's probably not true. Because, you know, sometimes you just feel little aches and pains. So now think about your femur bone in the hip socket. That's what we're moving right now. So one may be more difficult than the other. It's okay. Just notice it. One more time. And then back to the center. Ooh, it's not easy. Bring it to the center, feet in, hands to your shin or to your knees, round your back into a nice cow stretch or cat stretch, and then bend your elbows, lift your chest, lift your chin, cow stretch. Cat stretch is where you come back, rounding your back, straightening your arms. Come on back up. Lift up tall. That's it. Round again. And then come on back, lift up tall. Let's do that one more time. Come on back. And then lift up tall. All right, so from here, we're gonna come to a standing position already. I know, right? So whenever I do chair classes, I usually do some glute squeezes first. So with your heels under your knees, squeeze the glutes as hard as you can without holding your breath. And then release, kind of like you're sinking into the chair, but you're still upright. Okay, so squeeze without holding your breath. And then release. Let's do that again. Squeeze. And then release. All right, now to stand up. Heels forward. Let's hinge forward a little bit. Eyes forward. Arms can be forward or put them across your chest. If you need to use the chair, go ahead, use it. So I'm going to hinge forward a little bit, come to a standing position, and then walk back. Okay, so from here, now you can see me a little better. Let's take the chair and just move it. So I'm going to use the chair for this. If you'd like to put the hands on the top of the chair instead, turn the chair this way. Okay, and you can come like this. If you're going to use the chair seat itself, all right, like this. Hands underneath your shoulders, wrists under the shoulders, heels underneath the hips. Knees can be bent a little bit. Let's do a little bit of that cow and cat. So lift your chest and then exhale, round your spine, pull it up. Try that again, hips. Chest up, and then hips come under. Doesn't that feel good? So if this position doesn't work for you, put your hands on the back of the chair. So this is called segmental cat-cow. You're working in segments of the vertebra. And then come to a flat back. From here, we're gonna do a forearm stretch. I'm gonna see if it works. Actually, let's use the wall for this. Come up to the wall. I'm going to turn towards the wall. Actually, I'm going to do it on the chair. So let's go like this, and you can do this against the wall too. See if the back of your hands can touch the chair. the back of your wrists. And if that all touches, then the thumbs, you try to touch the thumbs. So if this is not working for you at all, and you can't get down here, you're gonna do it against the wall like this. Okay, so right against the wall with your elbows in line with your shoulders. Simple, right? Deep breathing still. That's it. Hold. And then release it. Okay, so wherever you are, put your right arm on top of the chair. Step back a little bit so your heels are under the hips. They're not way back here, under the hips. And then push your hips back and head comes down. Now pretend like you're dragging your right hand backwards. As you do that, feel what muscles start to feel to work. Your serratus muscles right here, serratus anterior, they're coming around here. Press down, drag back. Breathe. You can move side to side. Maybe that just, feels a little bit different. And then release it. Switch sides. Take your left hand up on the chair. I have my fingers spread wide and just my palm on the chair. So you're here, make sure your spine is long, and then drag your hand back. So you're pulling, push down on the chair top. Feel the muscles that turn on in your arms and your shoulders. Breathe deep. One more breath. And then release it. Let's go back into our forearm stretch. Walk in a little bit, turn around, use the wall, bring your arms down. See if that made any difference. It might not have made any difference at all, and that's okay. Back of the hands down, maybe trying to get the thumbs down. It's gonna be tough. Just do what you can do. And then bring your hands to the chair again. So if your hands are on the back of the chair, I'll show you what to do, but we're gonna have your chest in between the arms. Keep your arms straight, drop the chest, and then push on the chair, lift up. Drop the chest between the arms, then push back up. So if you're doing this here, it's kind of difficult. You're gonna drop and then press. No, it's not that hard. And press. Okay, one more time. So these are called scapular push-ups. When you drop down, your shoulder blades come together behind your back. When you press down and come back up, your shoulder blades separate. So it's really good for you. Last one, and then let's try the forearm stretch one more time, either at the wall or right here. Try and get your fingernails down. If this is hard for you, you're just doing the best you can. Doesn't matter, just breathe through it. And let's make our way back up by bringing the hands to the chair, to the thighs, and then pressing all the way up. And let's come back into a seated position. Okay, so right here, we're gonna do a little combination. So take yourself, we're gonna turn to the side. So my left leg is on the chair, my right leg is down. It might be opposite for you, but whatever way you're facing is fine. So I could do it also this way, but I kind of run into the back of the arm of the chair for the chair that I'm using. You might be fine. So I'm just gonna turn this way so you can see sides anyway. So you're here, heel underneath you, and your right knee underneath your hip, or your left knee, whatever one it is. So you're trying to stretch the hip flexor, which is here, and this is this muscle. When you're seated, it shortens, it tightens up. So we want to try to lengthen it. So if you do it like this, it's not going to lengthen it because your knee is still at an angle. You want it to be straight down from the hip. So you have a straight line going from the shoulder all the way down. This is like a 90-90 position. So think 90 degree, 90 degree. And then try to pull your pubic bone up a little bit. So think hip point to rib cage. That'll help you pull the pubic bone up. Deep breath in. Feel a little stretch there. We'll get even more into it in a minute. And then see if you can lift the same arm up. So I'm just doing one arm. I'm holding onto the chair with my other hand. My left hand is holding the seat of the chair. Let's hinge forward and then bring that arm down and back, lifting the arm behind you. Palm is facing down, thumb pointing out. Try to lift your thumb a little higher. That's it. Now come on back up. Lift up. Inhale. And then exhale. Let's come forward. Place your hand on your thigh and see if you can move your leg back and straighten it. It's okay if you can't. Just try. And then let's twist towards the back. So you're just twisting towards the back and then come to the center. Inhale, lift up, bend your knees. So now maybe your knees back a little bit farther. Exhale, hinge forward. Thumb up a little bit. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, hand comes to your thigh. Hinge forward, straighten the leg if you can. And then the twist. Bring my outside ribs down, my inside ribs up, come back to the center. Let's do that one more time. Lift up. Try your airplane, hinge forward. Yeah, thumb up a little bit. Inhale, lift. And then exhale. Hinge forward. Let's twist. And then come back to the center. And then release it. Come on down. Let's switch sides. So let's just switch it. Feels pretty good, right? Actually, let's stay in the middle for a little bit. Hang on. Let's grab your block. So grab your block. We'll do the other side in a minute. So let's take the block at its widest point between the knees, a little bit higher than the knees. Sit as straight as you can. Wiggle your tailbone back. Pull the flesh away from your sit bones. And then press into whatever you're pressing into. If it hurts your knees, you know not to do it, okay? If it hurts your knees, you could use a pillow to do this. Just put a pillow in between your knees, or just energetically turn on the inner thigh muscles and squeeze them towards each other without moving them. Okay, it's kind of easier if you have a block. So I'm just pressing into the block. Deep breath. That's it. Hold it. Now release it and take the block and turn it this way. Oh no, turn it this way. Let's go medium first. So I'm placing it in between. Now my knees are turned in a little bit, okay? Press gently into the block. That's okay. Remember, if you don't have the block, it's all right if you can't use it because of your knees. Can you feel the outer hips turn on here? Full breath. So we're not moving at all. Release it. That's it. Just release it for a second. Maybe bring the knees out and in, out and in. All right, let's try, if that was okay, try to go at the thinnest option. And if that doesn't work for you, go back to the widest, the medium, or the thinnest. Okay, and you're trying to keep the feet where they were. Deep breath. Gently squeezing into the block. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't want to be holding your breath. You want to be able to breathe through it. So if you can get the block in like this, great. If you can't, that's great too. You've got the options, so use the option that's right for you. So you've maybe done the same option 3 times, and that would be fantastic. You know, a month from now, you may be able to bring it to the medium height or whatever, the medium width. It doesn't matter. It's all relative to your body. Okay, release it. All right, take it out. Let's switch sides. So right here, right? Hold on, knee bent, lift up straight. See the straight line? Bring your arm up if you can. Now hinge forward, even if it's a tiny, tiny bit. Bring the arm down, back, reach back. This is your airplane arm. Squeeze the back of your shoulder. Turn your thumb up a little bit. Inhale, lift back up. And then exhale, hand comes down to your thigh, lean forward. Twist, see if you can move your leg back. If you can't, you keep it where it is. And then come to the center. Come on back up. You can rebend the knee if you want to, or keep it straight. Hinge forward. If you want to straighten the leg out, you can. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, come down. Straighten the back leg. Inhale, twist. And then exhale, center. All right, one more time. So I'm gonna let my knee bend a little bit because that feels good when the arm is coming up. It allows me to get up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge. I'm gonna straighten here. It feels good to me. Inhale, arm up again. And then exhale, hand down. I'm gonna extend that leg again. And then twist. And back to the center. And then release it. Come on to the center again. All right, so great job, everybody. So we're gonna be standing up again. So this time, we're gonna work it a little bit different. We're gonna work some legs, see what we can do. So deep breath in, ready to come to a standing position. Arms forward or clasping, hinge forward, come up. Nice, okay, come on back. All right, so again, let's start with the chair here. We're gonna be flipping the chair around a little bit, so it'll be a little different. I'm gonna move the camera back a tiny bit because I can't go back any farther. Okay, so here we go. Hinge forward a little bit, there I am. And then take see how I'm hinging forward. So my hips, you could put those right above the heels. The knees can be soft. I'm hinging from the hips. And I'm gonna lift my right toes and see if I can take my right leg back by using my glute muscles and my hamstring muscles. Release, bring it down. Now switch sides. Pull your toes up, take the leg back, and then down. Let's try to keep the hips as square as you can. So let's keep moving like that, but try not to go fast because what we wanna do here is keep the hips level and square, okay? So once you start going faster, sometimes you start turning the hips out and it just gets kind of sloppy. So let's just do this. Really good leg work here. Pull your belly in, your neck is in line with your spine, so try not to drop your chin and look down. All right, nice. Let's do a couple more here. Let's do one more. And then release it. Okay, come on up. All right, so if that felt okay to you, great. If it didn't, just either stretch or do that one again, okay? If you can, bring your hands down to the chair. Now, if this is not comfortable for you, you can turn the chair around again. All right, so let's try this one now. Let's take your leg back, tap, and then bring it in. Tap, bring it in. So now pull your belly button up. Can't see I'm wearing kind of a big shirt. I should tuck it in and back here. And tap. And if that works okay, we're gonna lift the leg up. All right, and down. Now this is not easy for me to do on that side because of my hamstring issue. I'm doing the opposite side, toe pointing down and down. Watch your chin, don't let it go down towards your chest. You wanna look straight down. So if you can't lift up all the way, that's okay. I'm not really trying to lift up that far, so how far you lift doesn't matter here. It's just the hamstring work. Sometimes if you lift too high, your back starts arching like you're doing the cow stretch. We don't want to do that either. Let's do two more here. lift, slow, and down. One more, take it up, and bring it down. Nice. Okay, hands come up, let's come up, flat back, lifting up. Bring the chair in front of you. Take your legs wider. Move over a little bit. Doesn't really matter if you can see my head, does it? Okay. Okay, so your toes are turning forward. Let's turn the toes to the side. So I'm going to go this way. Okay, so your left. Turn the right foot a little bit and then bend your left knee. So you don't want the back foot turned towards the back. It should be turning more towards the front. Left knee above your heel. Here's a nice stance for Warrior Two. How does it feel for you? Okay, remember your stance can be shorter, like this, but not like this. Okay, so you don't want to have your knee going past your heel. So it should be right in front. So here's where we go. So if you want to use the chair, hands go on the chair. If you don't want to use it, don't. I'm going to move it just so you can see me. Okay, let's take the arms out. Let's do Warrior Two. See how the shoulders are above the hips? Maybe turn your head towards the knee that's bent, so towards that leg. Full breath here. This is an isometric contraction. Press down on your feet and squeeze in. Great, come on up. Let's bring the arms up into star pose. Turn your toes forward. Now wiggle the heels in. Hey guys, let me get back in place. I had a little interruption there. So we were here, right? So here, legs apart, heels walk forward a little bit, arms come down. All right, bend your knees any amount and then come back up. Now look at your knees and they should go in the same direction your toes are going and your heels. So make sure the heels are not turned back like this, trying to turn the toes out and the knees out. Doesn't work. So you have to pull the heels forward a little bit and then just kind of move your hips back and forth. See how that feels. And then push your feet down. Okay, so yes, your feet are on the floor, but try really pressing down. Okay, so you feel what the floor underneath you. The hips will go back first, just a little bit. The hips will go back, your knees bend, come down any amount, okay, any amount, and then push the feet down and come on back up. All right, got it? So you feel everything kind of come in like that. And then you come down. Yeah, now push the feet down and come back up. So you feel what's happening in your hips and your knees, right? Really mindfully moving through these little movements. Push the feet down, come on back up. All right, great. Now come on down. Let's hold it here and just pulse. Just pulse. Now, yes, you could just pulse and just like not even think about what's going on, but think about pushing the feet down as you're doing this, right? Can you feel it? And then come on back up, pushing the feet, push, 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 come on back up. Remember, you can hold on to a chair while you do this. So let's come down, lift the right heel, and then come up, lift the left heel as you come down, lift up. So your hands can be anywhere, down and up, down and up. Now come down, lift the heels, lower, push the feet down, come up. Try that again. Down, lift the heels, lower the heels, push and lift up. Try it 2 more times. Down. So this is goddess pose in yoga. We're just kind of experimenting with it a little bit. Come down, lift, lower, push down and lift. Now, if you can, lift the heels. Ooh, you might need your chair for that. Come on down, hold it. Can you pulse? Pulse, pulse, 4. Ooh. And then press, let's come up, come up, come up, come up, and then lower the heels. Okay, great job. Oh, I got company. Okay, let's turn the feet towards the other side now. And then bend the knee. Make sure it's right above the heel. If you could go farther with the knee, you need to take the feet wider. So maybe out here instead. Remember, the back foot turns a little bit towards the front leg. And then arms come out. Reach through the fingertips like you mean it, guys. So really stretching out through the fingertips. Turn your head towards the leg that's bent. Commit to the knee being right above the heel. That's a deep breath in. Slow breath out. Push down on your feet and kind of pull them in towards each other. So you're really active in the legs. And come on back up. All right, release the arms. Come back to the center, turn your toes out. Let's go back up into star pose. The heels kind of walk forward a little bit. Pull the elbows down like you're doing goddess pose. Bend the knees any amount. All right, pull the elbows back. Press down on the feet so you're really feeling that. That's it, deep breath. Now, you don't have to be this low, or you can be lower, all right? So let's lower the hand down, come back up, lower the other hand. All right, so this is where you're working. If you want to work a little farther down, maybe arm on your leg, lift the other arm up. But I don't want you to lean forward. Shoulder stays back. You do you, okay? You do your range of motion. So if your range of motion is here, that's where your range of motion should be. I don't want you going up higher just to get it up higher. Okay, that's not what yoga is. With the breath, guys, no holding the breath. 2 more times. 1 more. Great. Come on up, push the feet down, push the feet down, push the feet down. Whew. All right, good job. Bring it in. Shake it out a little bit. Let's take the chair again. Gonna finish up here, okay, with this last little bit. So, hands on your hips or hands on the chair. You choose. You could use a countertop too, or the wall. So you're here, let's say take your right leg back. So you're taking it back a little bit. Hinge for the upper body forward just a little bit. Got a nice curve in your back, right? The hips are squared. So hold on. Squeeze your glutes on the right side, if that's the leg that's back. Squeeze them, try to engage. Are they tight? That's hard for some people to do, to really tighten them up and think about it. And then pull your right toes up towards your knee. So your foot's off the floor. Ta-da! Great, just holding it here. We're not doing anything, just hold and breathe. Keep your spine really long. If you can, take your hands to your hips, but if not, no worries. You just stay right where you are. Deep breath. That's it. Just take 1 more breath and then release it. Bring your foot down. Try the other side. So it may seem like this is easy, right? Well, this is our one option, and then I'll give you another option. Okay, so let's try the other side. Hinge forward a little bit. Pull your toes up. So your foot's off the floor. Square the hips. They go right that way. It's okay if your toe touches. If you can, hands off, but if you need to, just hold on. So there's a difference between the grips, right? If you're gripping really hard, that's going to be a little easier than if you come to maybe a flat palm or just your fingertips on, right? It does make a difference. And if you can let go, you let go. But your glutes are squeezing, your hamstrings are really engaged here. Just take another breath and then release it. Okay, so 1 more time on each side, exactly like you just did, or we're going to start tilting forward. And so it's your choice whether, in fact, I'm having my doubts. Let's do something else. Instead of tilting forward, let's do this. Hands on the chair, hips go back. So I'm not bending my knees. Push the knees are soft. Don't get me wrong, they're soft, but I'm not coming over like this. Just pushing the hips backwards. bring your hands to the chair. See if that is right for you or it doesn't feel right. And if it doesn't feel right, you're going to be back up here doing the same thing we just did. Okay? If it feels okay, come on down. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. All right? So here we go. Deep breath in. Pull your right toes towards you, lift your leg, and then try to take your leg back any amount without turning it. And if it turns, that's okay. So if you are really feeling this and it's like, this is it for me, or else I'm going to start arching my back, pull your belly button up. Keep your toes pointed down if you can. Deep breath. If you can lift it up higher, that's fine, but no higher than your back. Mine's going to stay right here because of my hamstring issue, so I'm not going any farther. Okay, I'm going to work on my strength and do it in a way that I know is good for me. Okay, one more breath. Slowly lower the leg. Maybe wiggle it out a little bit. We'll try the other side. So squeeze the glutes and the hamstrings on the left side, slowly lift up. So this leg, I am feeling great in this leg. So it's much higher than the other leg, but it's not too high. I'm not going like this and arching my back. Pull your belly button in, up towards your spine. Deep breath, keep your neck long. That's it, let's do one more breath here. And then slowly lower your leg. Bring it back up. Shake it out a little bit. You got it, guys. Okay, sitting pigeon. Let's come back into the chair. And let's try taking the right leg over the left or left over right, doesn't matter. So flex your foot, the foot that's on top, flex it, pull your toes back towards your knee, engage. Sit as straight as you can. This might be enough for you, okay? It's pigeon pose, sitting down. Now here's what I like to do. Scoot to the end of the chair. If this is too much for you, you're gonna sit like this with one leg crossed in front of the other one, or up on a block, all right? Get a nice hamstring stretch. You're gonna be stretching the glute, the medius, the gluteus medius, the rotator, even if it's crossed down here. Everything's relative. Maybe you're up here. Maybe you're here, okay? It's all up to you. Maybe your left foot is way out in front, okay? Maybe that feels good and you can sit up straight. Maybe your heel is underneath your knee. Everybody's different, okay? I can tell as soon as I do this one, oh, it turns on, right? So I'm gonna move it out a little bit. But anyway, take your hands behind you, hold on to some part of the chair, and push your chest forward, lift up, lean forward if you can. If you're sitting up straight up and down, that's fine too. Then maybe try to bring the thumbs back so you're opening up the shoulders a little more. Full breath. How's the breathing going? And then come on up. Let's switch sides. Cross it, hinge forward. So see, you can do it right from here too. You'll find that maybe one side is different than the other. Maybe your knee is way down here. Maybe mine is not. Flex your foot, hinge forward. So I'm gonna hold on to the chair. I'm gonna press the chest forward so I'm not sitting like this. So press forward and up. Deep breath. This position is not right for everybody, guys. So don't think any less of yourself. If your leg is down here, that's fine. That's good. You're working in your range with your body, the way it is today, right? Okay, one more. Come on down. Bring it down. Just breathe. It's a lot of good work today, right? A lot of good stuff. Everybody can do it. You just have to do it at your own pace. All right, guys, let's take a deep breath in. Roll the shoulders back, the palms turn out. Inhale, lift up. Hands together if you can. Hold there. So if you're watching me and you're like, I can't get my arms up, my arms stay right here, and then my shoulders start hurting, or one shoulder starts hurting, then you stop right there. And when hands are together, your hands come together right here. So whether they're up here or down here, it makes no difference, okay? Let's everybody bring the hands down right in front of the chest. Deep breath. And exhale. One more time, just take a deep breath in and exhale. And thank you for spending time with me today. I hope you have a great day, and namaste, everyone. See you next time. Take the other class if you thought that was a little too easy. That's what we do. See you later.